My name is Carl,
My name's Oscar,
and this is Who Would Watch This?
where we review bad films and decide who would watch this.
Well, apart from us.
Okay, Carl, what are we going to be talking about today?
We're talking about My Teacher, My Obsession. It currently has an IMDb score of 4.4, a Letterboxd rating of 1.5, and a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 0%.
Ooh.
Though it does only have one critic review, so it technically counts as not available.
Okay, so it could be this. Did the critic
Potentially someone could... Oh, God, no. They hated it. That's why it's 0%. All right, Oscar, what's the plot?
Riley struggles to meet friends after transferring to a new high school where her father is an English teacher. When she meets Kyla, a fellow loner, they become close friends until Riley learns that Kyla is obsessed with her father.
God, I hated all the names in this. I was like, are they trying to say Kylie? Are they trying to say Carla?
How have you
Are
spelled
they trying
it?
to say Kyla? And then at the end it was Kyla. And I was like, why?
Why? Is that a name? And
I don't
for
think
all
it
the
is.
Kylas out there, I'm sorry, but...
I was shocked. I heard it and I went, I'll try write it down and work it out grammatically.
Oh, yeah.
I spelt it correct and I'm shocked.
Oh, wow. I've just written Kayla. So...
Because that's what it should be.
That's what it should be.
I'm convinced somebody was dyslexic, said it wrong, and they went, we'll go with it.
We'll go with it. It's fine.
Oh, God. Anyway, Oscar, what's your history with this film?
Nothing. I just stumbled upon it on Letterboxd with such awful reviews. I was it's pretty new, so I was like, oh, let's give it a go.
Yeah, you sent it through me through Twitter. I haven't heard of it. I thought, I'll trust him. I'll let him pick a movie for once, I
I'm
guess.
an adult. Yep. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah, you picked a doozy.
Is that...
It's definitely fitting.
fitting for this podcast? Would
Yeah.
you recommend it to other people?
I don't want to spoil my review of the...
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're about to make a Rotten Tomatoes account and give it 100 out of 100.
I'll tell you right now, it is... We're going to get into it, but it's one of the most derivative, uninspired pieces of... And you know what I'm going to say? Art that I've ever seen.
There you go. So it's art. It's not just a film.
Sure, why not? It's very horny. It's nowhere near as exciting or violent as it leads you to believe when Netflix is like, it's MA with strong bloody violence and sexual violence.
Yeah.
And I went, oh cool, it'll be to like the extreme. There'll be like blood and gore happening left, right, and center. No, they save it for the last 4 minutes.
Would you not say the sexual stuff is why it's MA? Because it's... Oh, actually, no, there's a softcore sex scene. That's about it. And then a lot of touching.
They also make the most... I don't know. I find this movie horribly offensive if you're a woman or a teacher or anything like that. But they consistently keep on being like, I'm 18. I'm 18, so it's legal. I'm 18. I'm 18.
Love that. I was held back a year. Because I think the filmmakers now went, that's a bit creepy. I don't think we can make an underage kid. So they were like,
I'll tell you right now, they don't pull it off. They don't make it not creepy, but...
I don't know why they committed to this idea if they weren't going to commit with like the Lolita sort of aspects of it.
Oh, God.
Not that I would have made it better.
Can you imagine if Stanley Kubrick made this?
Well, I mean, I was reminded the whole time of the David Fincher film. Like, it opens with, like... We'll get into this.
It's not a diss to David Fincher.
No.
But like,
I mean, it looks like the director watched all his films and said, I'm going to make one myself. I'm just going to take little bits from each one, smash them together, shake it up, and hope it works.
It looks like he watched one of those video tutorials on YouTube that's like, how to light a film like David Fincher.
Yeah.
And then he went, I can write a script out of this YouTube video, and then he doesn't light it as well as the YouTube video
He hasn't
told him
seen
to.
any David Fincher films. He's just seen tutorials on how to make it look a bit like that, and he's just accidentally stumbled into his like most famous scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. He was like, watched Gone Girl and was like, women, they have the power, without any of the nuance.
If it says just a crazy girl.
Yeah.
With none of the subtleties.
Oh god, we have some awful lines. I've written down some of her lines.
Oh, honestly, the first like proper like conversation, I was so happy that this film existed because. Oh, okay. Well, let's start.
I had to wake up early to watch this, so it upset me greatly.
When you started it, you went, "Oh no!"
Oh god, absolutely. Because it. All right, Oscar, how does it start?
Okay, well, it starts with I think a great trope. It starts with a janitor. He's walking through a school. And he hears a bad noise. So he goes into his classroom. A girl, who we find out to be Kyla, is like crouched down under some tables and she's freaking out. And the janitor's like, I'll go get help. And then another girl comes through. I've forgotten his name already. I'm going to call her not Camera Girl.
Everyone, so it's Riley.
It's Riley.
Yeah.
Riley puts bloody hands all over him. And he's like, oh my God. And it cuts to a Seven-esque. Like, it's just like the opening of Seven, but made for $4.
Yeah, this is where I cackled with laughter because it's so funny, her acting of like, go get help and waving these bloody, like purposely, like the director's like, make sure the blood gets in on that shirt, and she's like, it's such an unnatural thing for anybody to do, and he's like, do it anyway.
Have you ever run up to someone and slapped them in the chest?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially with bloody hands.
It's also funny in terms of the fact that they like immediately cheat this intro when like the plot diverges into this, that they're like, oh, this is actually what happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, we'll get to it. But it's like, she wasn't walking behind him in the opening, but she's suddenly there at the ending. It's
also, she's, in this opening, looks like she has been, like, covered in blood, not, like, attacked. She's, like, able to run, hit him, and then runs away. Whereas we'll find out.
Well, I think it's because clearly the movies, I reckon they shot it in like chronological order.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, she runs up, she puts blood all over him, and then they get to the ending when they're filming, and they're like, oh, she was stabbed.
Oh.
Should we reshoot that opening, but she acts like she's stabbed? No.
No. It's foreshadowing done badly. We can do that.
I also thought this movie was very dimly lit.
But it's a David Fincher film. It's it's a style, Carl. I just don't think you understand. That tutorial was very precise on how to light. He's nailed it.
It's all to do with shadows and dust. Okay, so we then get to meet the two main characters in a car opening at a school. And so what I was getting from this opening was that we were diving right into it, and that the chick was already having an affair with a teacher.
Yes.
And because he's very clearly flirting with her, and then he's basically like, you're the best daughter. And I went, what?
Ooh.
Oh no!
I thought it'd be the girl, Riley, who got the camera girl, and her would be fighting for this teacher.
Yeah.
But no, Kyla. Sorry, Kayla's the camera girl, Riley's the daughter.
Yeah.
Yep, sorry. Yes, they get into the car, the hottest dad, let's face it.
I immediately wrote down he was a hunk.
Yep. And
I get it.
Yeah. Every single female wants this man in this film, I think. Every female, it destroys the Bechdel test. Every woman is like, I want this man. The mother, Riley, not Riley, maybe. No.
Let's say yes.
Yeah, they go in there. The daughter wants him. Kyla wants him.
They do have a conversation about cookies and exercise.
Oh, yeah.
So it does pass it. Tick for the movie. It's not sexist, apparently.
No, exactly. It did that. Passed that one test once.
I thought I was definitely going to find out that the main actor was the writer, director, producer again, because it was just women swooning over him and him getting to be with like just hot women.
Yeah.
Hot, near like grossly underaged girls. That's what upsets
them
me
off. He's
so
pushing
much.
them away. He's like, oh God, not another one. This always happens. And he's just shirtless. Why does this keep happening to me?
I don't get why. I don't know why you would ever tackle this subject matter. I don't think have you read Lolita?
I pretended to in English. So yes, I say I will.
So I had to read that for uni.
Yeah.
And then we had to do a comparison. It was a course we had to read the book, watch the film adaptation.
Cool. The Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah. So then we watched the Stanley Kubrick one, and then there was like another version of it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If Stanley Kubrick can't do a good version of Lolita, why can this director try and do those themes as well?
Exactly.
So I think it's
just don't tackle this subject matter. I mean, they kind of did, and then they were like, "We'll make Kyla 18," which is like a throwaway line, and it's just like, "Don't worry, it's not creepy though." It's like commit to being a bit. Commit to your subject, because the rest of it is that.
So I was really shook when I was like, oh, so is he not the teacher? And then I was like, oh no, he is the teacher. So there was a lot of play-by-play, and he essentially needs to get his life back on track.
Yes.
So we then get introduced to Kyla with her camera.
Yeah.
That I'm pretty sure she never clicks, but a sound effect goes cha-ching.
Ka-ching.
Which is the wrong sound. I was because I don't think a camera makes that sound. Might as well have gone moo.
It would have been better.
Can you imagine it was a barnyard camera? They were like, oh, Kayla's unwell, so we've given her a fake camera to take
I
photos.
take pictures of people. I take pictures moo. It's so broken, this camera.
Oh my god, I thought that she would be a great suit to set her up with the photo guy from the kissing booth.
Oh god, they're both equally insane. One's just an evil, like, little cretin who wants to perv on Elle. This one's a murderer and a sex-crazed freak.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Why does she have this camera, Carl?
Oh, am I supposed to know that?
No, I don't think the movie
Okay,
knows that.
I'm like, let's engage in conversation. Here's a question for you, and I was like, oh no,
Because,
did I miss
like,
something?
she's meant to have a I thought the camera would be a plot point, like she's taking a picture of somebody or something. But no, it's just her personality that she takes pictures.
Oh, I guess so. We also like find that she has no reason to be as fucked up as she is.
Yeah,
Like she's got a normal home life,
yeah.
mom that cares about her.
A divorce.
She progressively gets very crazy. Like
At the start, you're kind of like, oh, you're
well,
just...
at the start, I actually have a thing where I was like, I wasn't actually sure as to which one was going to go crazy.
Yeah.
If 20 minutes in, if it was like they were going to go, Riley's the one that's going to go crazy, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
Because they're both acting normal. It's just like Kyla's like, no, suddenly I'm into you.
And then we're in the class.
Yeah, we're in the class.
The hot teacher's teaching. Now, Riley doesn't want anyone to know that her dad is the English teacher.
I will also say this because I was very, very offended because I went to a school where my dad was the teacher and so did my brother.
Yeah.
So not once did we ever feel shame about the fact that our dad was a teacher.
Does she feel shame because he's a teacher, or that, like, shame that he's super hot and every single girl wants to have sex with him?
I don't think she's aware her dad's that hot.
Yeah.
I think...
Even though he is.
I think she's genuinely being cruel by being like, I don't want them to know that I'm related to you.
Yeah.
I find that very offensive.
I feel like it would have
I think
solved a
my
lot.
dad would have, like, cried had I behaved that way and been like, no, I don't want to have any association with you. Like, oh god, it would have just crushed him if he was like, hey Carl, in the schoolyard, and I went, oh, yuck. I don't know that man, I swear.
And then 7 other boys were like, this guy's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind having sex with him.
So a lot of the issues I'm going to have with this film is essentially me going, that doesn't seem right for a teacher to behave this way.
I like that we've got your perspective on the teacher dynamic.
it's so much of like, and it was because I'm from a small town.
Yeah.
Like multiple kids in the year had teachers as parents.
Yeah.
Right. And then because there's only a couple of thousand people in the area.
Yeah.
School only has 300 kids.
Yeah.
There's bound to be
Someone's working.
like children
No
as
one's
like
coming in like 4 hours from another town.
Yeah, so they're all like proper certified teachers, but it's like, and so a lot of like family friends were just other kids that had parents as teachers, and like I just knew like a lot of teachers. Like after school, if dad was like, I've got 30 minutes of more work to do just to mark these papers or something, it's like, cool, I'll just chill with the other teachers, I guess. So I don't know, they're like a bizarre way to treat your dad.
Yeah, and it's...
I think he should be offended, and I don't blame him for fucking your best friend. No, I take it back.
No, Carl, she's 18. It's absolutely fine. Everything is fine in this film.
Yeah, the movie does nothing offensive, nothing horrible.
So let's jump into a very offensive part. The hot girl, whose name is
Trisha,
starts open. She's just like, hey, classmates, I want to fuck the teacher.
Oh, and in front of her boyfriend?
I think so. And
he's like, could you not?
but she's so overtly... I don't know what it is about these bad films. I'm having the horniest people to ever exist, but she is like...
It's because it's made by the worst type of people in Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh, like, just like, the people that, like, learn to, like, be very successful and subtly, and then these people at the bottom who are just...
Yeah, well, these are the ones that are like, women are objects in film. They're not really characters. It's all about the man.
Yeah.
Like, also, well, this director's other film that he's done like a handful of television movies like this.
Yeah.
But the other one that he's done is called Dangerous Lessons, which is the exact same film, but it's a boy falling in love with a female teacher. And it's not that the boy's doing anything wrong, it's that the teacher succumbs to his charisma. So in that one, when it's a different gender swap,
Yeah.
it's the teacher's fault. But when it's the other way around, like in this movie, it's the student's fault. And so thus the director has looked at it and gone, it's always the woman's fault.
Yeah, I don't know why you would set yourself up for that so easy comparison. Why would you do the exact same movie?
Who funded this?
Did it make a... Oh,
It's a TV film. I think it's Lifetime? I don't know.
Yeah, it was just kind of shut out.
It's upsetting. I hate it.
Yeah.
Also, my friend came in while I was watching this and asked what the movie was called. They said it was called My Teacher, My Obsession. And for the rest of the day, he sang it like it was an ABBA song. And I found it very catchy. It goes, my teacher, my obsession. Uh-huh.
Carl, one more line and we're copyrighted. I swear to God. ABBA's lawyers are penciling in on us.
Oh god, like for such a long-winded amount of time, most of the backing track for this movie was going, Oh, an absolute nightmare. Anyway, so Trisha's got her phone out.
Yes.
And she's looking at herself on Instagram. Chris, the dad, saunters on over with his sexy
We
sweater.
should just establish he's a very cool teacher.
Oh, he is the coolest of teachers.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to get his life back on track.
He's having fun.
Yeah.
So yes, go on. He goes and grabs her phone.
Yeah. So he goes and grabs her phone. He's then like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to shame you. I'm going to start reading out things. Find music on this. And then we find out that's the most basic class ever.
Oh, I didn't know. Maybe there's people that exist, but I don't think there's writers ever listen to music. He's gone, I'll go to the top 20.
Yeah.
Grab the top 4. Those are the other bland kids, but are cool.
I love. It's just the most blatant of like, what are you listening to? Bruno Mars, Ed Sheeran, Rihanna, and then like the cool indie students like, I listen to the Beatles.
At this point, my sister walked in, lost her mind, because I don't know. I feel like that, like, maybe like 10 years ago, that could have kind of worked in the classroom. If in 2020, if you said I listened to the Beatles, actually, if you said you listened to any of these artists, I think you should be bullied.
Yeah. Who's like, okay, what's your favorite song of the moment? Like, they're all in high school, they're all trying to be cool. 90% of them are saying Radiohead.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't work. Yeah, popular girl listens to Ed Sheeran. I can't believe she's popular.
oh god. And he starts honing in at being like, clearly the writer has an aggression towards the Beatles. And it's like, they stole African-American music. And she's like, all music stolen, it's how they adapt.
Yeah.
And she's like, I hope you're having fun trying to be the cool teacher or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's constantly the actors or the characters are making fun of their own script. Because later, Kayla's like, I don't know, my dad's trying to get his life back on track. Whatever that means. Dumb fucking phrasing.
No, I just read the script now.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I mean, shit. Okay, that was his motivation for that page.
But the fact that a movie will do a cliche and then a character will just call it out and then they'll move on.
But, like, it's like the worst fourth wall breaking. It's just like, this is bad. Moving on.
We also think it's about one of my other favorite things, which is the class gets dismissed.
Yeah.
He waves to his daughter. Kayla turns around and is like, huh, what are you waving to me?
Yeah.
Turns back around to see if he's waving at anybody else and the daughter's already left. And he's like, fuck, he's into me. I've done it again, haven't I?
God damn. Because we learned that I think Trisha had previously got a teacher fired. Is that correct? The popular girl.
Yeah, well, where it's a lie.
It's a lie, okay. But actually, Kayla had.
Yeah, so Kayla projects onto... because he wants ownership of Riley, so she can try fuck Riley's dad.
Jesus.
So she's like, don't make more friends. Stay away from Trisha. Trisha's tried to fuck other teachers. Got a history guy fired.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like she's probably just going to try and fuck your dad anyway.
Yeah.
When really, it turned out that she had been the one
that
wants to fuck teachers, had tried to do a thing with the history. And then the assumption is maybe she killed the history teacher because no one knows what happened to him.
Yeah.
They play very fast and loose with it.
Whether this girl, because at this point, she's not insane. At the moment, she takes pictures and listens to the Beatles. We're at 20 minutes in. And then I think there's a point where...
I don't think we are. I think we're like minutes in.
Yeah.
Oh, because this movie fucking drags.
Really? I thought it was...
No, absolutely
really?
not. At an hour and 20 minutes, it's nearly an hour too long. This should be the episode of.
I'm still reeling from the kissing booth, where I'm scared to go into these films because I have to commit to like a 4-hour session of sitting down. Where I watched this in one setting, went, haha, funny, done, tick. That's our job done for the week.
Oh god. During this time, we also get Kayla talking about how age is just a number.
Yep.
She befriends Riley by being like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize somebody was in the computer lab."
How?
Oh, sorry, it's okay. And she's like, "It's fine, we can share." And then goes and sits down immediately next to her and is like, "Can I take your photo?"
I didn't like that she kept taking everyone's photo just very close to them. Everyone's like, I don't really want that. It's not even like, at least yearbook guy had the excuse of, it's for yearbook. What do you want from me? She kind of does, but never does anything.
So your partner,
yes,
right, your girlfriend did your school's yearbook.
Yes.
Right? Was she like Kayla?
She actually did murder the English teacher. That was correct.
Was she able to fuck him?
Well, she wasn't 18. So,
bummer.
So she was like...
So it was just ordinarily creepy.
Yeah. You know, just
right.
Standard stuff.
Instead of acceptable like this.
Of course, this is fine. All G.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody does anything wrong with this film, apparently. Also, I feel like the dad keeps flirting with his daughter. There's a line where he's like, "Did you tell anybody at school about me being your teacher?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, just one person." And he's like, "Ooh, am I your dark secret?" And it sent chills down my spine.
Because he's... Have we mentioned his name? What's the...
Chris.
Chris throughout the whole thing is just like a puppy dog. Like, he just keeps accidentally falling into these women. Like, at the start, he's like hitting on Riley. Gross. But then he accidentally waves at Kayla. Kayla's like, well, I'm ready to go. Then he... we're skipping a little bit ahead. Then he accidentally just... Is that like a bookstore or
the grocery
store? My mistake. He's at the grocery store and just like, "Hey, woman, wanna just?" Turns out it's Kayla's mum.
Oh no! What a twist! I love it because they both are like, "Oh my god, you like Cheerios?" Yeah, I do. Yeah. Wow. Well, we should probably
date.
3, 2, 1. Date.
Perfect. Because she has not been on a date for 10 years, and neither the
a decade. Wild.
It feels weird to accept. We're going to the mum's relationship.
Let's get into the mum's relationship. Honestly, the daughter's awful to her. She shames her mum for working out when she comes back from school.
Oh, right.
Creeps on her in the bathroom. But like, all in all, has a very normal home life. I don't get why she's so crazy.
Is the director just like, she's got a divorce, that's why? Is that it? Because that's the only issue she's had in her whole life. I'm not saying you have to have an issue to become a psychopathic murderer, but it helps. Especially
in a film, you kind of want motive.
Yeah.
Like, as far as they are concerned, it's, my dad left when I was 6. And I know, we know people with broken homes.
Yeah.
Tell you right now, they're not sex crazed trying to fuck their teacher.
We don't know in high school. We don't know. Maybe they did.
It's true. Maybe they have.
Yeah, this film is actually completely justified now.
This is where we find out that Riley's mum cheated on Hunky Chris.
Yes. Chris
Hunksworth, as you might know him as. And then they kind of bear like each other's souls to each other and is like, "I'm so happy I found you. Maybe we should start studying." It's been 24 hours.
They've just clicked.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, no. I feel like first day I moved schools when I was year 9. And I didn't have friends for, man, that's more sad fact about me, about 2 weeks before I went on a study date with somebody. And then try to fuck his dad.
I love it. Because it's also, she just starts snooping around the room and lies down on the dad's bed. God. So just imagine you doing that. Being like, no, you found me. Trying to sniff the bed like it's cocaine. Oh, that's
a good scent of your father. Anyway, we're gonna be best friends. Don't worry, I'm not creepy.
Oh, it smells of cornstarch and Sylvia Plath, this English teacher. Yeah.
Now we skipped over. So that happens. She's done the study date. She goes back home. Is this when the sex dream happens?
Yeah, the sex dream's pretty wild.
Yeah, pretty. I mean, I'm gonna say it now. I don't think this movie drags. I think every minute, just something disgusting happens.
It's constantly dragging. What do you mean? So consistently, nothing's happening. there's like bits, but it's like it takes so long for things to happen. I was so upset for so long. This dream happened. My note was no. I looked away and I went no.
Because the Chris,
they've already had their phone call of being like, oh no, I'm like 60, so it's okay for me to fuck your dad. And the other one's been like, I'm gonna have a party. I don't know.
So Chris in Kayla's dream, Chris, oh god, just jumps on her and just kind of grinds.
I hated
softcore.
I absolutely hated it. I hated that anybody had to act it. I hated that anybody had to light it.
Oh.
I most of all hate the fact that somebody wrote it.
Because it didn't need to exist. It's just a dream sequence. We get that she wants to fuck the dad.
I would love it if it turned out he was like the Freddy Krueger of sex dreams. So he just like, when you're asleep, I fuck you. And it's just him fucking everybody while they're sleeping.
That'd be more appropriate than this film.
Oh god.
Better base. Because that's the thing, why do this film? There's so much gross, wrong things of it.
We then go back to him as a teacher. I wrote down what I saw on his chalkboard in the background.
Oh, go on.
Which is Bob Dylan, and then under it, what define, hear, see, manhood. That's a class, apparently.
What is this? Because it's an English class.
Yeah.
And like, sure, you can talk about music. That's fine. But it seems like most of the course is just him going, yuck, your music's popular. Not back in my days. You heard the Beatles?
Yeah.
You heard the most popular band, but 50 years ago?
Yeah.
It's like, why bother?
Like, it's so different in comparison to, like, my 18th year of life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the last year of high school,
Yeah.
it's like...
It sounds like
hey.
you didn't go to school. It sounds like, you know, my dad was a teacher.
It's like they were like, hey, has everybody finished reading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Yeah.
How does this compare to blah, blah, blah? Let's do a practice essay.
Mm.
It wasn't putting up Bob Dylan lyrics and deconstructing them.
Thoughts?
Just because he wanted to be the cool teacher.
Teach these kids. They've got the, is it the LSAT? Is that what kids in America do?
Oh, no.
I don't know. They've got a big exam.
I would love it if just like these hip teachers that strut in and are like, hey, did we all watch Riverdale last night? Wow, what's Veronica thinking?
Whoa, those kids are crazy. Not like us, huh? We're pretty fun.
Yeah, I know, right? Get it? I'm one of you guys. My hat's on backward. Boo, teachers, am I right? Fart!
Also, I'm available if someone wants to seduce me.
I'm looking at you, Riley. That's right, the wrong daughter.
Yeah, so this is when they drop the line, do you think that she's like, don't worry, I'm 18. I got held back a year. They just throw that out there.
Yeah, might as well have looked at the camera. But it's pretty much the point where somebody, I'm sure, when like the crew were eating dinner, where somebody was like, movie's kind of fucked up. And the director was like, well, why? Why is it fucked up? Just about a teacher fucking his student. They're like, well, she's a minor. And he's like, oh no.
Because we're meant to be rooting for the teacher, so then it's kind of like...
Oh, God, there's nobody to fucking root for in this movie. One of my notes towards the end is I hope everybody dies.
Trying to think, is there any reveal? I like
we'll
Trisha.
get there.
Yeah, go
You
on.
love Trisha.
Oh, out of everyone.
I love Trisha's boyfriend. He's got a kooky hairdo, and I vibe that.
So Chris starts dating the mum. What was the mum's name? It doesn't really matter.
Oh, God, I don't know. But before, yeah. Sorry, I've just read a note that I have because it's So Trisha starts trying to hit on the dad.
Yes.
Everybody's trying to hit on the dad.
Yeah.
She purposely snaps her pencil.
Yeah.
And is like, so can I borrow a pencil? And her boyfriend's like, I can give you a fucking pencil. And she's like, shut up, Roy. And then the dad walks over and is like, here's a pencil. Next time, bring a backup. And my question is, why aren't they fucking using pens? Use a pen!
I mean, let's be super what's the word? Uneducated. I assume every American used those 2B pencils forever.
Is that seriously, did you not have, I don't know if my primary school was different to yours, or because you were at a British primary school, or did you do this primary school? Do
you know me, Carl?
No,
we've just met. The last 5 have been...
Said, hey, you want to do a podcast? You look like a bland white guy.
You bland white guy, let's do it. Should we start at episode 7?
Yeah, hey dude, you like Coldplay?
Coldplay? And I'm more into the Beatles.
How dare you, they cultural appropriate.
I've got a camera.
But basically, like, you had to use a pencil in primary school up until a certain point, then you got your pen license.
You got a pen license.
And I've never not used a pen since I was, like, I don't know, 9, 10, 11.
Like drawing or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why these kids are adults. They are adults.
Yeah, they are.
Are using pens.
I would have loved it if Kayla's just like defining fact was, I'm an adult. I can use a pen. I don't make mistakes. Like
she makes does she make mistakes? Does she make mistakes?
Oh, she makes lots of mistakes. But I mean,
in terms of her, other than the ending, she gets everything she wants. She plans it pretty well.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Go
Sure.
on, thanks.
There's still like an hour left in the fucking movie. I don't know. It's really upsetting me. So anyway, the dad rocks up to Kayla's house.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, is this too weird? And she's like, no, not at all.
But it is weird.
Because they're basically like, oh, because we can totally not do this if that makes you uncomfortable. Which annoyed me more because teachers are allowed to have relationships.
I don't think this director / writer...
This director / writer clearly hates teachers and it upsets me. The backbone of society is on the teachers who are underpaid. I was so upset. Leave the fucking teachers alone.
This director was in English class writing this fucking atrocious script, and the teacher was like, "That's not very good. Don't write that." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna make it about teachers."
Oh,
I've got this,
fucking nail on the head.
He was just like,
went up to his teacher and was like, "Hey, I'm good at creative writing," and the teacher went, "This is a blank page, Stephen." Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna write about you and how I maybe want to fuck you, but I'm gonna channel it through the character as somebody else.
Also, that bitch that didn't talk to me is going to be the murderer because she's a slut and I hate her. I hate her.
Sort of coming for you, Kyla.
Who, me? My name's Kyla.
He's like, what
can't spell?
he's the teacher walks over and is like, what are you doing? This is a math class.
Dude, I'm gonna write you in two. No, I don't know what math is.
I'm gonna fucking divide you.
Good job, that's good maths.
You've done a great job now. No, nothing to be angry about. I guess
got positive reinforcement. Alright, the math teacher's out. They're good. But English,
oh, good.
So they're on their date, and because Kayla is so jealous, she gets a flower vase and just runs at the teacher, Chris, throws the water over the vase like, oh, you can't go out now. You're wet.
This was... I lost it over Kayla throwing water at the dad because he's like, I haven't got a spare, I can't go out now. Oscar, let's go tit for tat on all the ways that these two people could still go out. Wait for the shirt to dry.
There's a second, bigger problem. He wakes up the next morning in a new shirt. So he obviously had a shirt. But yes, you're right. It could have dried. He was wearing a jumper. Put that on.
Yeah, she could have used a dryer for it.
Exactly. He's got such muscles. I'm pretty sure he just squeezed the water out himself.
They then decide that they're going to cook. They don't have to. You could get takeaway.
Yeah.
They could go out on a picnic.
Which are critiquing his date now. Uninventive.
It was like, so... What she needed to do was spill like red wine on him.
Yeah, exactly. That's a stain.
Or like she should have put a stain in the water.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But in the end it was like flour. Not flour water.
Yeah, oh no.
Oh no.
It might
have been clear.
But also, where was this set? Because it felt like a sort of like a Idaho. I'm not really sure how America works, but sort of that. I don't know. Sort of.
What do you mean? What do you mean? We know how America works. Shout out to our friends in Washington.
Whatever we called them 2 weeks ago.
Where's our Reagans at? That was the other one.
Some guy in Washington's going,
yay, Reagan. No, but seriously, we do want to give a shout out to the people in the Netherlands.
Oh god,
you're where our love is actually at. Oscar, do we go to find out what the weather's like?
I swear to God, Carl, put your fucking phone down.
It's too late, I've already
cut the gag.
No, don't cut the gag. The gag works.
Anyway, so this 3-day date is weird.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but they've asked, is this weird to Kayla? And she's gone, it's fine. If you're like, I know you have a teacher father.
It's 28 degrees.
I swear to God.
They're looking at some rain coming out. There's a lot of wind. I'm telling you right now, from 7 a.m. up until 4 p.m., it's just wind. And that's the thing we love about you, Netherlands.
Woo! That rain and wind. When I think of Netherlands, I think of that.
Oh god. Just so everybody knows, we're definitely going to be spotlighting weather on every new fan that pops up on this feed.
If you accidentally stumble on this, listen for a minute and then leave, you'll come back in 3 weeks and you'll be granted with your weather from that day.
You'll be given weather and we'll have named you after a character in The Exorcist 2.
Well, that's a fun segue. So, Chris starts raw dogging the mum. So they start making out on the couch.
Oh god, they are just going at it. Oh no, sorry, before this, they end up cooking a nice dinner.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Chris is a gentleman. He doesn't just jump into it.
And he goes, he's touching his mouth with his, and he's like, that was absolutely delicious. I can't believe you cooked such a meal. I couldn't be more full. Which is the type of thing that you would do immediately after eating dinner. We cut to a wide, there's water glasses in front of them all. There's no plates, cutlery, mess, or food. I'm convinced they didn't eat at all. They couldn't even get a catering plate. It's not going to sit in front of them.
It's that. Just even just a picture of some mashed potatoes I'll be fine with. But yeah, he's like, they've all tied around him. And he's like, I'm going to wait until I'm finished and then I'll clean my face.
Oh god, it's absolutely bizarre.
I can't remember how it transitions, but I think it just literally cuts them making out on the couch.
Oh, it does. And because I'm like, I assume it's very late now. And I'm like, go home to your daughter.
Yeah.
Go home!
He's on a date. Let Chris fuck. Let him raw dog the mum.
Oh god.
Come on.
There's also a line that Kyla says during dinner. You see me?
What?
Because I think she's like, oh, I don't know, you know how school is. Nobody sees you. And the dad leans forward very flirtatiously and is like, I see you. And she goes, you see me?
My vulva tingled at that line. That was gorgeous. Because he is such a flirt. I will get into his actions later on in the film, but he doesn't push away from the flirting.
I seemingly have a lot of issues with the type of pencils and pens they use in this movie because there's a part where Riley's drawing and then Kyla gets jealous that Trisha's talking, walks up, pushes Riley, and she does like a faint line of pencil through the bottom of the drawing, not the top.
Yeah.
And she's like, you've ruined it. And I'm like, erase it.
Yeah.
This isn't in pen.
Exactly. We've established pens don't exist in this universe or in America. I don't think they have pens in America.
I love it. My teacher, my obsession, my pencil. That's this.
That's the sequel.
That's
I'm
what it
very
should
excited
be.
For that.
Oh boy, do I have a pitch for the sequel, baby. He ends up staying over the night at Kayla's house. And he, for some reason, the mum's like, hey, use Kayla's shower.
Oh, God. We kind of brushed over it before, but Kyla and the mum had a conversation, and Kyla was in the bathroom with the mum. They're very happy with they're happy being naked around. And
I don't know, she's crazy. She's seen a mum naked too much.
Yeah, because I would just kill myself. That would draw me. Yucky, I'm going to murder my English teacher.
I'm going to seduce an adult. I am 18, so it is okay, but then I'm going to wreak havoc on all of you.
Especially that damn janitor.
Why couldn't he have used the main bathroom?
I don't know.
Why does Kayla's bathroom not have a lock on it?
I think it was just for the shirtless shot. I think it's just so...
We've already seen him without a shirt. We know Chris.
Oh, Carl,
we know how fucking delectable Chris
don't
is.
deny the audience that. Come on. It's goddamn...
Oh my god. Just give me gay porn with Chris.
90 minutes. Go watch gay porn.
So, who would watch this? If you love gay porn, I strongly suggest that.
Of hunk on hunk action. Oh my god. It's a little bit of murder. Just ignore that.
Here's the thing, by gay porn, I want Chris and a mirror. And just him going at it.
So at this point in the film, they go to school, and now Kayla's like, I want to get with him. I need to think of a plan. Because Trisha, flirting with the teacher, with Chris, and not succeeding, but Trisha's, not Trisha, Kayla's getting jealous, so she hatches a plan. She mean girls her. I thought this was fun. It's stolen from Mean Girls, but it is still a fun moment.
My favorite thing is also on top of this is the fact that Kayla's been accepted into like a high profile college.
Yes.
And she's been waiting for the right moment to tell her mom.
Yeah.
So what happens is Kyla mean girls herself with a sexy picture, and then
Yes.
she is attempting to try and frame Trisha to get Trisha out of the picture.
Yes,
Because she's afraid Trisha's going to try and fuck the dad before she gets to fuck the dad.
exactly.
This brings out like a lot of like it really upsets Kayla's mum, of course. Can you imagine if this type of bullying happened to your child?
Oh yeah, she like Kayla stuffs her own locker with like thousands of nudie pictures of herself.
Written slut
Yeah.
and whore all over them, just so she can like run into the dad and be like, I'm so fed up with the drama of high school.
Oh, but then she plants one of the nudes on the desk. I kind of love Kayla at this point. That's a fucking boss.
Oh, no,
move. That's a
we're gonna
ballsy-
get to a point where she starts having some huge swings in terms of being an alpha male.
Oh, yeah.
Or an alpha female.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the mum is very upset, of course, over this sort of thing. So, of course, this is when Kayla goes, I got into college.
Yeah.
This is your timing? You were waiting
She
for?
had that in her pocket.
When you're publicly shamed yourself?
She's playing this massive chess game. She's got all the points mapped out. She goes, here, Mum, now you're happy. It's fine. I can move on to Chris. She's very clever.
Anyway, so Kayla moves into stage 2 of her plan of
Yeah.
framing Trisha.
Yeah.
Which, in turn, also is breaking up her mum and Chris.
Yes.
But I think probably would have even more disastrous results than I think she intends.
Okay.
So you explain what happens.
Okay. So Kayla has bought a dud phone, just a throwaway phone, and is now texting Chris, pretending to be Trisha, saying, I want you, I want to have like all that like sexy stuff. Now, Chris finds it and goes, oh, that's weird. The mum also then sees the phone. She's like, who the hell is this? Chris hasn't texted back at this point. I think he's like, he gets in trouble. But anyway, the mum's like, this is gross. I don't want this around. I don't want you around. We're done. I don't want you texting students.
Here's how this should go down.
Mm.
If this is to one, there would be an investigation into how like Trisha has the number.
Yes.
Right? But also simply her texting the teacher would result in him losing his job. Like immediately. Whether or not he engages or not.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
he would just lose his job.
He would just lose his job. He would be fired.
Yeah.
So Kayla's mom, and if you're Kayla's mom,
Yeah.
and you're looking in on this situation,
Yeah.
surely you're very upset about it. You immediately report this.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, at my school,
Mm.
a teacher lost their job and, like, the credibility certificate that's like, they've done the studying
Yeah.
simply for adding a student on Facebook.
You're joking.
Didn't even
really?
engage. So that's, like, the level of how strict this is.
Okay, so it's like a no-go.
An absolute no-go.
Yeah,
Like,
okay, that's go on the movie. Good job. Good fact-checking. He's given, like, quite a few chances
He's
now.
given too many chances. I think if Kayla's mum reported this, he would lose his job, fall into a deep depression, and kill himself.
Yeah. But Kayla doesn't want that. Kayla wants the hunk for herself.
She's playing. It's too wide of a swing.
Yeah.
It could go so wrong.
I don't think she
This
cares.
isn't a Gone Girl level plan with like all of the things of like
Oh yeah, bashing herself in the brain, like blood everywhere, trying to clean it up.
like so much detail.
Yeah.
You know? Like
Well, this is just a nudie pic and a text.
yeah.
That's all she's got. And then she snaps the phone, puts it in her locker.
Yeah. And then you would also think, because you'd think Chris would confront Trisha.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
Well, the school takes her out and just like, hey, Trisha, you gotta go.
Well, they take her out because they find the flip phone, not
Yes.
because they...
Oh, sorry. Oh, you're right, actually. No, you're completely right. So this
Yeah.
was not reported.
Yeah, not at all. So anyway, Kyla's mum and Chris break up,
Yeah.
and this is the point at which Kyla goes, I'm gonna go try fuck him in the car outside of the house
Oh my
at which
God.
my mum lives.
Chris is like, has not been in a relationship for 10 years. His previous wife, like cheated on him. He's now broken as a man. He's sitting in his car like, I didn't do anything wrong and now I'm broken up. I'm broken. And Kayla's like, oh, he's vulnerable. I'm going to step on in and jump on his lap.
So she gets to the car and is like, hey.
Knock, knock.
Doesn't knock, there's literally no
I
glass.
was going to say.
And goes, can you unlock this? Makes him crawl in this deep depression and reflective, crawl over to the other seat, unlock it. She could have done it. She could have unlocked
He's that
it.
hopeful that maybe the mum's changed their mind in the second. He's like, please say your mother wants me back. He's like, nope, I want you, big boy.
He does not fight her seduction at all.
No.
And this is the point at which I think Chris, in any other horror movie, would die.
Yeah.
Like, not at this point, but this solidifies he's made a decision. Or like he hasn't gone through and fought it off and thus deserves death.
Here's the thing, Carl. I think the director wants us to think that Chris is still a good guy, even though he's allowed Kyla to seduce him. I think the movie's like, he's lost. But he's not lost, because he accepts it very happily. He's like, no, don't. I mean, he does it. He jumps straight into it. And at this point, he's like, get off me?
Yeah, and then they just kind of like leave it there.
Yeah. It just kind of go, all right, well, that happened. All right, next scene.
Yeah, anyway, so now Riley's having a birthday party or whatever.
Sorry, my mistake. I forgot, the best line. She makes out with him and then says, consider that my statement. Consider that my thesis statement. And then it cuts and we're into the next scene. I can't believe they were like, that's a good place to end that scene.
I love it. Now let's consider if he was a math teacher. Consider that my algebra assignment.
We've established that the director doesn't mind math teachers. He would never stoop that low.
What would she say if he was a science teacher? Consider I've put my flask in your beaker. For history, consider that your Karl Marx or whatever it
done.
is. Yeah.
And that's the history. And that's World War II.
If it's PE, consider that baseball.
We can keep doing this bit. That's the great part about it. There's at least another 9 teacher professions we jump into.
Legal studies. Consider this statutory rape.
Ceramics. Consider this a clay pot.
Art. Consider this drawing.
We gotta stop doing the shit bit.
I love it. Let's do 2 more.
The listeners home are just like, no, stop. Anyway, I believe we missed music teacher, and that's a trumpet in your anus. Consider that.
A trumpet in your anus. Agriculture. Consider that me horsing around.
Agriculture? Where were you? Where did you go to school?
Did you?
Farm boy?
Yeah, we had a farm on our school.
Did you actually?
Yeah, we had horses and cows and stuff, and you could do studies of plants and things like that. We were talking about this the other night. I was talking with people. We had like a huge ceramics hall. We had a motor shop workshop, huge metal studies, big woodworking like complex. Multiple, like, we had a soccer field, soccer field, basketball field, netball field, oval. It's a lot. It's big. It's huge. It's like the size of a campus.
My school had a drug problem. So that's on that.
And it was because I feel like, did you take any notice of my school when you came down?
Yeah, I drove past it. It was
it's huge.
Big, yeah. It's like university.
In comparison to yours.
Yeah.
Which I've driven past and I'm like, it's a city block.
You blink, oh, it's gone.
Yeah. Absolutely. Your friend was like, because I was saying to them that in high school we had like a big section.
Yeah.
Like we had a huge like hangout spot because there's so much space. And he was like, we had a table.
We had a table. We all crowd around that table. And if you left the table, you were banished to the... on the floor you go. You've lost this part.
Go on.
Okay, well, Riley's turning 18, so she wants to have a party. I've just written it's a lame party. She has no friends, and yet she's invited everyone.
They've all shown up.
Yeah.
I have a thing, it's Kyla keeps... fucking Kyla, why name your child that? Kyla keeps trying to, like, give Riley alcohol.
Yeah.
And then pushes onto the dad the idea that Riley's always been a bit of an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And then that never returns.
I think, is it just to guilt him? Just like, hey, you should be looking after your daughter. She's an alcoholic.
Well, no, because it makes him run after her.
Exactly. She keeps dropping these awful bombs on this man. Then she's like, hey, but are you horny now? Because she then goes up at the party and Chris is just like reading a book in his study, which I don't think's real. I don't think he reads, even though he's an English teacher. And she's like, hey, we're going to have...
listening to Bob Dylan?
Yes. Wow, this guy's Bob.
Absolutely.
He hit shuffle. Ed Sheeran. Boo!
Boo! Rihanna. Oh no!
So she goes upstairs. She's like, hey, Chris, we're going to fuck. And Chris is like, no. don't. And then
He takes off his own
Yeah.
shirt. No, what's
No,
going
it's
on?
crazy.
Takes off her shirt.
Yeah,
No,
no.
stop it.
No, they had to have a soft.
Chris
spot.
has gone too far.
Yeah.
He's irredeemable.
Exactly, and we are still, I think, rooting for him.
I wrote down, I hope Chris dies. I hate Chris. Kyla now hates... Oh, yeah, anyway, so... then they have... Riley walks in on them. They have a huge blowout in front of everybody at the party.
Yeah.
The dad's like, everyone go home. He walks back upstairs. Kyla's still there on the bed and is like, well, are you going to fuck me?
Yeah.
Or not?
And Chris is like, alright, I'll do it.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm going to go after my daughter. And Kyla's like, are you saying she's more important than me? And he's like, yes. Yes.
That's what I've written. Yeah, Kyle's like, so you think she's more important than me? Yeah, daughter who's drunk. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. I love how quick... What, are you saying she's more... Yes!
Yes, 100%.
Yes!
Why wouldn't I?
Kyla then turns on her own mum for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. She's been so supportive of her mum. Like, I don't get... Kyla's gets so crazy. And I don't get
crazy.
why or how. She's so...
I think the director's like, she's got a period. She wants to fuck him, and she's so sex crazed, she'll do anything to do it.
I don't think the director knows what menopause is or what age you get it. And it's like, she's 18, she's got menopause.
she's crazy now.
Yeah, I said I don't forgive the dad. I hope they all die. Kyla then decides to go... Oh, yeah, so anyway, the mum is like, hey, did you lie about all of the stuff with Trisha?
Yes.
So then Kyla calls Trisha.
Mm.
Trisha's like, fine, we'll meet up. I don't know why.
Real quickly before we get into this, my favourite scene, the mum finds out, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And then Chris is over there. She slaps Chris like twice. Just like, get out. Don't talk to my daughter ever again.
Oh, they're amazing slaps too.
Oh, they're very solid.
Yeah.
And just like...
Yeah.
And
He
then,
over dramatically is
Yeah.
like, oh!
oh, I'm
Oh,
here.
no!
I'm being slapped. And then Chris walks away, and then Kayla's like, you know who I haven't tormented in a bit? I think I'll call Trisha up.
I said, you've already eliminated her.
Yeah.
Why are you beating her
I
up this
think
dead
Trisha's
bush?
line is like, why am I here? And I think that was to the director. And then the director's like, don't worry, got Kayla the actor. She's going to do something. She want to do something. It's method. And then Kayla's like, calls her up, gets a police card, be like, you know, to see like what's happening.
Yeah.
And then she starts fight clubbing herself.
Oh my god, just like a slap,
Yeah.
slap, throws a slap. But you know what's funny is because she gets her there with the premises of being like, oh, fine, I'll get the injuries properly.
Yeah.
And it's like, Trisha, why don't you take a swing? And Trisha's like, I don't know. You know what? Maybe I will. And she's already started fight clubbing herself.
She's just smacking her. She does this thing where she puts her two fingers into a park bench and then just hits them down, breaking both her fingers. And I do love Trisha. She's like, what the fuck? Why am I in this film? Who's done this?
I love it because Trisha's like, had you eliminated me from the script, nothing would have changed.
So now Kayla's in hospital. Everyone's like, the mum's there. Hey, honey, you doing okay? Kayla's like, no, get away. Where's Chris? I want to chat to him.
So then Riley comes in.
Yes.
This is where I think this is the most alpha move I've absolutely ever seen. Riley comes in. I don't know how she's come to the conclusion that Kayla's been the one that's seducing Chris.
Yes.
But is like, you seduced my dad.
Mm.
You're a crazy bitch. I don't want to be friends anymore. And before Riley can leave, Kayla goes, hey, can I ask you a favor?
After the biggest fight you've ever had in your life.
Broken fingers in a hospital. You've tried to fuck my dad. You've only been friends with me because you've wanted to fuck my dad. Hey, can I ask you a favor?
Carl, can you, Riley, can you take my camera and take some pictures of the netball team?
Fine. I'm not going to do it for you, though. I'm going to do it for the team. Terrible writing.
She's it must have been like, we need her back at school late at night so we can do this dark, eerie, cool.
Like, why
shot.
wouldn't the dad and the daughter go back to clear out his desk? Then?
Yeah.
You know?
Something like that. They get fired. Yeah, that's much better than,
Oh,
can you
God.
take a picture,
Like,
please?
he would be so fired by now. So fired. Oh my god, it makes no fucking sense. Like, the age doesn't matter, it's the fact she's a student.
Yeah,
Like, anyway.
100%.
So even then she's like, fine, I'll take the camera and I'll go take those pictures. She goes to leave, and then Kyla's like, can I ask another favor?
She's so pushing her luck. It's this insane monster. It's like you had like,
Oh my god.
I can't be a more villainous person. Just like, hey, well, I've got you here. Did you bring your dad in?
Yeah. And as the daughter, you'd be like, no, my dad's never speaking to you again. But she's like, fine, I'll send him in. I'm like, Riley, you've been cut so hard by Kyla. She deserves Chris now.
Oh, honestly.
You've absolutely rolled over.
At this point, I'm like, Kyla's not the best character, but like, my god, what balls she must have to enact this entire plan and kind of get away with it.
It's insane. Oh, hey, before you go, can you also just do some light dusting?
Yeah. It's a bit filthy in here. Can you just... There's a spot on the ground. Can you lick it up with your teeth?
Hey, Riley, before you go, can I have your Netflix password to pass the time, please? Fine, but I'm only giving you the kids' content. Oh, please, I'm really into the Umbrella Academy at the moment. Fine, but you're only getting it for a month. Oh, please, I could be in here for a while. I'm giving you a year's tops. My Amazon.
Just throw it in there. I don't really use it.
What else do you want? You want Hulu too? Take my Hulu. Take all my streaming services, Kyla.
By the way, can I fuck your dad again? Yes. Oh,
yes.
Damn.
Joke's on you, I didn't need your Hulu.
That's the kicker.
Anyway, Chris walks in and Kyla's like, hey, everything's gone to plan. We can be together now. Chris is like, no.
He's so like, I don't think it's going to work. He's so casual, man. He's like, it's not.
He is, though.
He's so just like, he looks around and goes, I don't think it's going to work.
He's like, this is a bad plan. I don't know if this is going to work out for you. It's so funny because in comparison in Gone Girl, like, she gets Ben Affleck stuck in such like a tight situation at the end. It's hard to break out of, like.
And then he does like the great move of like the publicity and stuff, and she's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, but even then, she like doubles him over and then wins again.
Yeah,
like it's. And this is just like, no, I've framed somebody and my mum's cool now.
At this point, we've also ripped off Fight Club. I believe A Social Network was in there. I don't know, Harvard. Fight Club.
She's gonna go to Harvard. I'm gonna go to Harvard. I'm gonna be someone.
Noah's there. They're perfect for a game. Actually, you know what? Noah and Kayla are perfect for each other.
Oh my god,
murderous, evil people.
They are. And then I just, can be taking photos to the side. The other kid from Kissing Booth.
So yeah, Chris obviously is like, this is not gonna work, and Kayla's like, I'm gonna break out of hospital and I guess murder your daughter?
Oh god, because Chris is like, I'm just gonna quit if you keep pursuing me.
Yeah.
And I love it because Kayla's like, what?
Whoa!
Hold on, I didn't account for this.
She goes to her clipboard. My master
plan. She pulls out her master plan, licks her finger and flips a page. No.
Oh.
No. No, hang on. No, I definitely didn't account for this.
Okay.
Are you allowed to quit as a teacher? I
thought you lived at the school.
Yeah. If you quit, I've got something else here. I'll kill my mum.
No, that can't be right. How about I
kill your mum?
Yeah, I murder you and your daughter and a janitor. Not sure why that's in there. I'll do it.
Alright. We'll kill Bobby the janitor then. Oh, that's really disappointing. He's got a wife and 4 children on a janitor's salary in America.
Not great. Kayla's having first bit of remorse. Like, I don't know about that. 4 children. Like, she cares about the family dynamic.
Chris, are you sure you want to quit? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, alright, let me find a scalpel so I can wreak havoc, I guess.
Yeah, so she grabs this scalpel.
I love it because it's her just reading the script.
Yeah,
just being like, oh no, I don't get this at all.
I don't get caught.
I get a scalpel and then they save my life.
Why is there all the script notes that every room's red?
God. Anyway, so Kayla turns out the lights on the school when she breaks in. Riley's there taking photos.
Yeah.
The dad's cleaning out the desk. There's only 11 minutes left in the film.
Yeah.
It took this long to get to any sort of exciting violence or just anything. Anything at all. She stabs Riley really quickly.
Yeah, bang, straight in the stomach with a scalpel, so she's kind of bleeding out.
I have my first compliment for this movie within the last 10 minutes. I think when the actress is stabbed on the ground and is trying to crawl and get up, and she's wincing and crying, I thought that was fine.
I talked about this with my sister as well. We were both like, we feel so sorry for these girls. I think Chris to an extent.
No.
All right, he's just a hunk.
I was still hoping Riley would die. I just thought...
No, of course. No, I'm saying
the
these
actress
actors,
was fine.
I think these actors are doing their best with what
Oh,
they give
absolutely!
Yeah.
They're giving it... They're trying!
They're
trying
really so
trying.
hard, but every time they read the script, a little bit of themselves dies.
Did you watch this with anyone?
Oh, my sister, yes.
Yeah, so you watched this with your sister. What did she think of it? By this point.
Well, she joined, like, at the Beatles, like, scene. She was like, I'm hooked. And she was just like... Yeah, all she said was, like, the act just felt bad for the actors, but she thought it was so funny. I think it is very funny.
Well, I felt really bad for the actors when they had to do this, like, sexual violent scene with the scalpel's at his neck and she's trying to fuck him.
Yeah.
I wrote, I hate this film, it's gross and offensive.
Yeah, because Kyla is... So she stabbed Riley and she just murdered the janitor in cold sweat in the throat. But she has the knife to Chris's eye and they're just...
She hasn't murdered the janitor yet.
Has she not murdered?
I don't think it matters.
Doesn't matter.
But, like, because it takes him so long to realize he's fucking jacked and 9 times her size and she's a petite woman. So when you're like, scalpel. How's he going to get out of this? He just, like, kicks her across the room.
And she flies. She's like, oh God, how did I... She's like reading a big plan. I didn't think he could kick me.
Yeah, the janitor dies. I'm upset because I think he's the most likable character in the film.
Because he has one redeemable he's just like, oh no, a small girl in hell.
I'll help. He's the
help.
only person that ever acts reasonable and with kindness, and he dies because of it. I think this is what really made me turn on the movie. Like, even more so. Like, I think this turned from me disliking it to hating it. Is I hate a movie so much when it's like, it teases something at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it's only at the beginning because fucking nothing happens for so long of the movie.
And you need to be hooked in.
Yeah, and I think they need the movie to near 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we'll just show the ending again at the beginning. The fact that the only person that suffers is somebody who's never on screen is, like, somebody should die. Like, the mum should die, or the dad should die, or Riley should die, or at least Kyla should be killed.
Yeah.
Somebody should die that isn't literally on screen for seconds. Like...
Because he's introduced, we're kind of like, oh, when's that janitor going to show up? So when he does arrive right at the end, you're like... It's
just cheap. It's cheap. It's dumb. I just hate it. It's the most annoying... Like, somebody should die of importance.
Give us... Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why you wouldn't... Like,
just do it for a movie.
Do they think it could have a TV sequel, perhaps, or something? Like, I don't know.
Oh, why. I think it does think it have a sequel. But also, we'll just... I think... Yeah, because for a TV show, I get keeping a character that's loved.
Yeah.
Even like a character that's hated going.
Yeah.
Whereas a movie, like, it's over.
Yeah.
Kill them off.
Like, I think she could have just... I think I would have been fine if she'd killed the mum.
Yeah. It would have shown she's psycho.
She's really turned, especially because she loves the mum like the... Like, it's weird she loves the dad more than the mum.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I hate it. Anyway, this school has a lot of colour when they're running around.
Yeah, a lot of reds, a lot of greens, very stylized.
Why? Why are they coloured like that?
They're in a red room. And then... it sucks the ending, because...
I wrote, that's it, with an exclamation mark and a question
Riley's
mark.
just like, oh, that's right, I've got a blunt object. I can just hit you in the head.
With the camera.
With the camera.
I would have loved it if she was like, say cheese.
Oh, God, I wish... She said something, but it wasn't...
Oh, yeah, she does say a bad line.
Yeah, but I was like... Does she say it? No, she just hits him. And then it's like, well, she's dead.
It's geography, and she's like, that's right, this is America.
You got Abbott, the lawyers, and you got Donald Glover's lawyers. Like, well, hang on, let's get him. So this is what like annoys me the most is that like everyone's like the ambulance have arrived and they've gone, oh, okay, cool, let's get them all in an ambulance. Like Riley goes to her dad and Kyla gets taken away with an ambulance, assuming to be arrested or detained or something.
I'd love it if she framed Trisha for them. Just Trisha's like already like in prison or getting charged for beating the shit out of Kyla.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and while you were in prison, it looks like you snuck out and killed the janitor too.
She's like, my father.
What? She's like sitting in prison and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe they got me done for murder. And Kyla walks in and is like, hey, can I ask a favor?
My Netflix password ran out.
Yeah.
She changed it.
Yeah. Oh, look, I just need a recommendation, really. Watched a lot of Fincher.
So the movie just ends. They're both like
they're happy. They're like she's like, hey, it's your first day of school. Maybe this time don't make fun of the Beatles.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's a good tip. And she's like, I've got the car now, and they drive away. And there's just a hooded figure there.
Oh, there's a hooded figure.
We assume it's Kyla, but for all we know, it's like the neighbor back from a run. We don't see her face.
I'm sweaty.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh no, I'm exhausted.
And it ends on that note, so we assume there's going to be a sequel, but...
I mean, no, but like, it's just one of those cheap endings where they're like, nah, they're just in for more trouble. And I'm like, don't tease that they're in for more trouble.
Yeah.
Put the trouble at the end of this movie.
Exactly, end it. That's it. It's finished. Credits roll.
It's fucked. I hate it.
See, I'm a bit different. I think it's pretty funny.
I saw on Letterboxd you gave it 1 star.
Yeah.
I've given it half.
You've given it half.
I think it's... honestly, I thought this movie was so long. It's an hour 26.
Yeah. The
So
Kissing Booth's
long.
Kissing Booth 2's an extra hour. I know we keep going on about that, but like, I don't know, shares similar, like a high school relationship with a murderous man. Shares similarities. That was an extra hour. This one I sort of just watched and haha, alright, I'm done. You seem beaten down by it.
I was pretty upset.
Yeah.
I watched a movie after. I watched a movie that was over 2 hours long after this, and it felt much shorter. It was nearly 40 minutes longer.
What did you watch?
So, we'll talk about it in
That's
a
all
palate
right,
cleanser.
Yeah.
Alright, Oscar. You got any sequel ideas for this?
I don't know. Well, let's face it. Kyla's back, and she's ready to have sex with the dad again. Now, they can't just do a rehash of the exact same thing. I like it. This is a cinematic universe with the other director. and that female teacher who pervs on the boy, they now are at the same school. And there's this fun dodecahedron triangle of relationships and murders just going, oh, you're dating my... like
I'd love it if she went after the granddad.
Who's the professor?
It's just like, my older teacher, my older obsession. My sequel idea was my greenskeeper, my obsession. And you just keep running down different occupations. Like, oh, I love the way he cuts grass.
Snip. You can have a little bit of murder. Maybe get stabbed with the...
Yeah.
Honestly, we're making a better
My
sequel.
chef, my obsession.
Would... Honestly, these ones are great because I'm just thinking of like creative ways to do the murders, kind of like Final Destination.
If there is a fucking murder, like it's every time that another janitor, the janitor at the greenskeeper dies, the janitor at the restaurant dies.
It's just this whole family keeps getting murdered. And they keep
we have a long line of janitors that all got murdered by people obsessed.
With teachers and professions.
All with slightly wrong names. Like instead of Joseph, it's like Poseph.
What do you mean? You got old Walliam down there.
I'm sorry, what's your name? Is it Wally? No, Wally.
Like the film? No.
What's this series you got called? It's the Don't Know How to Pronounce Main Characters series.
This director is just grabbing a pen. It's like, wait, hold up, let me grab those.
I hate to be these fucking children. I reckon they're called like Bottlio and Rack. I don't know.
No, they're just called like whore and woman because
oh god, because he's just so offensive.
Yeah. He's like a king. Can
you imagine if your dad made this? I'd hate my dad.
Yeah. What if...
I'd be so grossed out by my dad if my dad
Would you
made
become a
this.
teacher to spite him if he made this film?
I'd become an English teacher. You know what I'd be doing? Just to spite him the entire time? Just fucking listening to the Beatles.
Ed Sheeran would be on repeat. You don't like him.
Yeah. God, you know, this writer must have really fucking lost his shit over the Yesterday movie.
Oh, God.
I hate it. It's got Ed Sheeran in it too, so I'm even more annoyed.
It's furious that Ed Sheeran has stolen the Beatles music.
I feel like the writer just like grabbed the scalpel and slit his own throat open. Alright, Oscar, who would watch this?
Like most of these, when I go through who wouldn't watch this, think teachers, think children, think people in the education system, like yourself. You...
I'm in the education system.
You're in the system. Your father's in
Yeah.
the educate. I'm not saying I enjoyed it. I think it's silly. I think there's like little pockets where I'm like, that was fine. Because I think, again, it's short.
There are some laugh. I was very pleased to see it was under 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I could do this. I was like, oh god, I hope 20 minutes is credits.
That's the thing.
It's far too long. No, seriously, like,
Alright, fine.
there's so much
there's
to
so much
cut
dead
out.
space.
This is
That's the thing.
genuinely a 20-minute short.
I think you're right.
Stretch to a feature.
Definitely.
This movie's been done so much better many times.
Yeah.
Fatal Attraction is like the most famous version of this. Done much better.
So, like, who would watch this?
I think if you're a fan of Lifetime movies,
Yeah.
I think it's very Lifetime. It's not that violent. It's not a lot of...
It feels quite PG. Like, it's very softcore sex scenes.
Yeah, it does. It feels late night TV.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's, like, looking down the careers made a market
Yeah.
on making late night, Lifetime-ish, shitty films for television.
That you watch going, that was weird. I'm done with it.
It's like I think it's people that like horror without wanting any sort of horror and wanting to be challenged.
We have a friend that doesn't like watching horror films.
Yeah.
Would you say he should watch this?
No, he'd hate it. Because in the end, it's still bad.
It's awful.
I think you have to like this. Genuinely, you have to be somebody that loves horror.
Yeah.
Like, I think if I watched this when I was young and I was consuming so much terrible fucking horror stuff, like, back in the day, me and my brother would just work our way through the horror thriller section of the DVD rental place. And we watched many films like this.
Yeah.
This would be, like, one that I'd be like, great.
Yes.
like it's so, because it's not scary or challenging or
exactly.
it's just like airy. I think people that want to fuck teachers probably want to watch this.
Oh, if you want to fuck Chris, actually, yeah, as we said, we've
Oh
already
yeah,
spoiled.
you know who should watch this? If you want to fuck Chris, if you want to fuck Mr. Hunky Hunk
And
Chris.
this is an audio medium. He is fucking strapping.
Honestly, seriously, get to any piece of internet, get to an internet cafe.
That's right.
And Google Chris from My Teacher, My Obsession, and fall in love.
You get why every woman in this is obsessed with him. Honestly, like...
Yeah. I'm going to
go
go to my boss and pitch that we hire him. I looked through his IMDb and I was like, he's not working enough. I think we should hire him.
Get him on the retainer.
Yeah.
He just stands in the room for the podcast, just flexing. You can kind of hear it in the background.
Oh my god, he could be our third co-host.
Oh, perfect.
Should we get a third?
I think we should. Oh, no, we can't, because then the initials would be Cock. Chris,
bummer.
Oscar, and Carl. But maybe it'll work.
We make him be his character. He has to be Chris.
Oh, he's Chris, don't you? No question about it. He's the cool guy. It's like, you gotta listen to the Beatles.
And then I also think, do you have somebody else you think who should watch this?
Like, honestly, I think it's campy and silly, and like, if you're drunk with some friends,
I
it's
think
very
there's
fun.
campier, sillier, and more. Here's the thing: if the movie had been more violent or more exciting, like the last minute is, I think then it would be
fair.
good. As if you're drunk and watching this with friends, I think you'd be fucking bored.
I think the silly moments.
There's a handful. If the movie was even short, if this was 60 minutes, If somebody wants to make a 60-minute
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah. Who would watch this? Let's change that. Who would remake this into a 60-minute film? And then we would all watch it.
You.
Yeah, you.
I think blind people would probably have a blast.
No, the audio. What are you talking about? Have you heard the writing? A blind person would be like, they never get to enjoy Chris. What's the point? The only redeeming point in this movie that we've discussed is to jack off to Chris.
I think if you was to watch this without the picture, you'd maybe have fun with it. There's a lot of wacky sounds. You'd be like, what is that, a wolf growling in the background? And then you'd watch it and you'd be like, oh, it's them clicking the camera.
What is this, a barn? Is this set in a farmyard?
Yeah. Let me be like, why is he getting so mad at the Beatles? I love it. And you get to the end, and then your assumption would just be everybody... You're literally through audio, right?
Yeah.
If you listen to this, your assumption would be Kyla died and the mum died because you never hear them again. And even the ending bit is like a doo-doo. So you'd just be like, oh, nice.
They're done.
Yeah, great.
Great film.
Yeah.
So the blind should watch this.
I think if you're on a long road trip, get your data up, put on your Netflix, connect it to the Bluetooth, put your phone away so you can't see it, and
actually, if you want to drain your battery on a car ride, this is the film for you.
Yeah, that's it for me.
That's fun. What was your palate cleanser that you alluded to?
I watched a new Russian film that came out over the weekend called Sputnik.
Oh, cool.
Which I thought was very good, very fun. It's a genre monster movie sort of thing. It's very well made.
Cool.
The plot is it got like a bit of traction over the weekend. It's like, I think this director will probably be scooped up by Hollywood. Does really look very good, and it's very exciting.
Fantastic.
And it is very original. It's kind of, if like Arrival met like Ex Machina met kind of like Alien.
Wow, that's sort of similar style as well.
Yeah, it's that similar style. Basically, 2 astronauts go up to space.
Mm-hmm.
The ship crashes back down onto Earth, and there's like 3 people now.
Cool.
Or no, like 3 people. Essentially, there's like a symbiote embryo like inside of the main character.
Yes.
And it's set in the 1980s during Soviet Russia.
Oh wow.
And so scientists, therapist person's kind of brought in to try and, because he is an astronaut hero, they want him to live to fit a narrative. They need to separate the symbiote from the guy.
Cool.
And then a lot of stuff kind of divulges from that, and I thought it was genuinely very, very good. I think it the ending has a bit of shortcomings to it, but I overlook it because I genuinely think that so much of it was really exciting and fun. You can also kind of tell it's like a first director's time. There's some inconsistencies with editing.
Yeah.
But I would watch this. I would keep an eye on this director.
Very cool.
For a science fiction film like this year with not many movies, I think I highly recommend on seeking this one out.
Talking about Sputnik, was it?
Yep, it's called Sputnik. So yeah,
Amazing.
jump onto that. It's available everywhere to rent.
Cool.
Oscar, what was your palate cleanser?
Oh god, I'm so beaten down. You just said this lovely Russian foreign film, and I'm just like, well, I tried, because I recently, about 2 months ago, watched Storks, and I thought it was one of the
Storks is great.
great.
It's absolutely great.
Jump on Storks.
I recommend.
Storks. I thought it was an honestly,
so much better than it has any right to be.
Yeah.
Got a bad rap. I think it should have done better at the box office.
I think it should have done
Didn't do
so
great.
much better. I think it's some of the funniest jokes that I've watched, like the funniest comedy movie in like 5 years. I'll say it now.
It's a bit much, but
Yeah,
I do
don't
think
care.
it's quite good.
Yeah. Anyway, I looked at the writer, and he's done like some duds and some pretty good ones. So I was like, oh, I'll watch a Captain Underpants.
Do you have Emperor's New Groove? Or is that the director?
Oh, he
Emperor's New
may have.
Groove?
Yeah, I remember he searched it. I remember looking up a lot of stuff.
Why didn't you watch Emperor's New Groove?
I've seen it. It's great.
Watch it again.
I wanted to watch Captain Underpants.
Well, I know where the story goes, and I think you should have just watched...
I should have, yes. I fucked up. Anyway, so I started watching that. It's good. It's got a bit of laughs, but it's a bit kid-orientated. I definitely think there's some jokes there for adults, but just didn't retain me. So then I swapped over to recommendation my girlfriend wanted to watch Airplane. We switched that off after 10 minutes. And then, both defeated, we watched Noah Cientio's Swiped. And I think, Carl, this is why I don't think this film is a half-star, because I've actually watched a half-star film, and I've been assaulted by this film, and it wasn't a palate cleanser. I just got like essentially I went, and I got punched in the face by this awful film. And I can't wait to chat to you about it in about 10 weeks, because it's quite low on IMDb. It's got 3.5. So we'll be talking
I'm
about
sure
it.
it's on the list.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it.
You don't. I'm going to say it now. It's probably the worst, by accident, the worst film we've seen. Like, yeah.
They're really trying to push Noah Centineo to be a star.
I think it worked for the kissing booth, to All the Boys I Loved Before.
Well, he's charming in that. He's not very good in the sequel. He's in Charlie's Angels and he's fine.
Mm-hmm. But the
Perfect Date's pretty bad.
His interviews, he's quite a. I don't know if
he's odd.
Yeah. Have you heard the interview of him? There's I can't wait to work with Gaspar Noir.
No.
He's like, I really want to blend into Coen Brothers, Gaspar. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The super have you seen Enter the Void?
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I know it. Yeah.
It's a 3-hour DMT trip. I just couldn't imagine Noah switched in there. So that was I just didn't cleanse. I just got smacked in the face. Nice.
Actually, you know what? He's in this movie called CPS 30 or SP. What's on this?
FPF 30. Yes. Yeah. That's the second worst film he's been in.
Yeah. So I've watched the first 10 minutes of that.
Yeah.
With friends, and that was fucking unwatchable. We had to turn it off, and I went and looked at the IMDb reviews of this, and one of the reviews was I'd rather not use. Was it? What's the title?
FPF 40 or something like that.
It's whatever's on sunscreen, right?
Yeah.
They were I'd rather not use SPF 40 and get cancer than watch this film. All right, thank you for listening, guys. Join us next week when we review
Holmes and Watson.
Yes, very exciting.
Very exciting. I'm shaking. I'm that excited.
Alright guys, thank you for listening. Tell your friends about us. Maybe one day we'll read out your weather. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube.
And if you have a film you'd like us to review or questions you'd like to ask, email us at askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com.
You can leave us 5 stars on iTunes or any sort of praise anywhere. It helps new listeners find us and our egos grow.
Alternatively, don't do anything and see if we care.
Yep, ball's in your court.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week.